Well, everyone, thanks for joining in our podcast. I'm really excited to have Ethan Beute on the phone. Ethan, I know you're a busy man right now. And a little background, I learned about BombBomb, and Ethan is the chief evangelist of BombBomb. I learned about this company last year, probably 9 months ago. And then I recently got this book, which Ethan and his partner, Steven, wrote. Got the book, and I also got an video email from Ethan basically saying thanks for that and reaching out and lots of different resources. And I wanted to share how this whole concept of video can really help people, whether you're in sales, whether you're in marketing, whether you're in customer service, whether you're a family. And right now with what's going on around the world, just connecting with people. And so Ethan Beute, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Sure. Thanks so much for picking up the book. Thanks for the invite, and thanks for being a practitioner as well as supporting the philosophy of building relationships through video.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you've had a lot of experience in your previous background with radio and marketing and different things, and you've been with BombBomb for quite a while now. First, what I want to do is I could spend a lot of time talking about where you've been and what you've done, but there's so much going on right now. If it's okay with you, I'd like to just jump right in to some questions I have that I think people really would benefit from, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. I will follow your lead. My time is your time.
Awesome. So first of all, why is video so important? Because that's kind of the concept. Tell us why video is so important before COVID-19 and maybe as we're dealing with it right now.
Sure. So for folks that aren't familiar, we're talking about simple, casual, conversational, unscripted videos, not to like load up your YouTube channel or be, the video on the homepage of your website to represent your entire brand or company. We're talking about simple, personal videos in place of what would otherwise be plain typed out text, faceless digital communication, the same black text on the same white screen that doesn't differentiate you, doesn't build trust and rapport, and doesn't communicate nearly as well as when you get on a call like this, right?
Yep.
And so you think about all of the consequences, and I love that you walk through all the various seats that can benefit from this approach, but you walk through all the times you're clicking send or a machine is sending out a message on your behalf, and so much of it is just this faceless digital communication, and yet we're a social species. We really need and want to connect with other people. And so in so many cases, and we can get into some of the particulars, you're going to be better off communicating your message in a video than you are typing out the exact same message and hoping people that receive it understand what you meant, we're clear on it, we're clear on the intentions and all these other things. And so to the other part of the question, pre and post COVID-19, which is so crazy to think about just how quickly it all came on and how quickly everything has changed. As we record this, we're maybe 3 or 4 weeks into it. And the interesting thing is we solve the same problem today that we did 3 or 4 years ago. And the only difference is that people feel it so much more intensely and so much more acutely today. And I like to describe the problem this way. You would benefit if you got face-to-face with more people more often. You would create more opportunities. You'd get more yeses, whatever those yeses look like, again, depending on your seat or your role. So let's just go to a salesperson. Let's say you're working regionally. And maybe if you got in your car, you drove around safely but aggressively, you could maybe visit 4 customers a day, maybe 5 or whatever. Well, in 10 minutes, you can send 5 truly personal videos from the convenience of your desk or really anywhere else that you are and create those face-to-face moments. And so time and distance are the 2 factors that keep us from getting face-to-face with people as often as would benefit us, would benefit them, would benefit our relationships, would benefit our businesses. And so one of our 2 co-founders was in a sales role in a situation I kind of described. This is back in 2006 when the company was legally founded. And he just thought, gosh, if I could get in front of all of my clients, he was selling outdoor advertising, billboards. And he's like, if I could get in front of people for contract renewals and to follow up after appointments and on holidays or birthdays or special occasions or anytime I might want to, maintain or enhance the relationships that I have in my business? What if I could just scale myself by sending simple personal videos? And so the same problem we solve today is the same problem as back then. It's just that now we are, in most cases, legally forbidden from getting together face to face with people. So that distance is a hard stop. Like, you cannot do that anymore. And so people are like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But, among our 50,000 customers, a lot of people recognized, even in the absence of a legal requirement to stay distant, they recognized that they were more distant than they wanted to be. And that video, like a truly personal message, can kind of close that gap down.
That's excellent, Ethan. So I'm going to encourage everybody to get this book, because I read a lot of books. I read a lot of business books, and some of the books I read, you can almost read them in a sitting, right? They're filled with a lot of fluff and a lot of space and not much substance. And I will tell you, like, in the first 2 pages, I have highlighters, and I am just going through this, and just your opening was, have you ever misread an email or text? Especially now, people are a little anxious and uptight, and it's so easy to type something quick and be misunderstood. Sending cold emails. We're in the sales and marketing with insurance, so that happens. Save time. I can't tell you how much time my team says that by getting on your platform on the corporate version has saved them time, because I've seen some of the emails they've written in the past, and they're really good emails. But they say it took them an hour sometimes. And we're now, in 2 minutes, they go through that. So what's funny, Ethan, is I started using the program. I was working with Jonathan, who's been wonderful on your team. And, I was kind of holding back on the team. But then I realized, wait a minute, I'm the only one benefiting. Like, we have 6 people, and they kept saying, when do I get that? How can I get that? And finally we're like, Leo, let's bring it on. So kudos to you guys. You do a really, really good job in explaining how your system works and integrating customers into the fold and then supporting them afterwards. So I want to give you a lot of credit, because you don't just drop the ball and go and run.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. This is a new practice, right? To some people, they just connect with it. It clicks right away. They're like, this reminds me of why I got into the business. This makes what I do fun again. And they're just kind of off and running. But other people, there's a gap. This is a behavior change. Instead of just typing it up and hitting send, as you've done thousands of times over the past decade, depending on who you are, how long you've been in your business or whatever, like, we're clicking send all the time. And we're so accustomed to, fussing with all the details of the emails. You said, like, typing out a really good but lengthy email that takes a lot of time. And so this is a behavior change. And you already pointed to a couple of the benefits, and I just want to double back on one of them. The time saving. We speak on average 4 times faster than we type. In addition, we're speaking in layperson's terms. We know who we're speaking to, and so we're not going to, load it up with industry jargon or things that can be confusing. We're just talking to someone as if we're across the table over coffee or lunch. So huge time saving. But the other one, this idea of being misunderstood and misread in our messages, and we've all experienced it. We've been on both sides of it. We've either sent something and someone replies back, and it's obvious they didn't understand our intention or our motivation, and we've received an email and maybe, read it as passive aggressive when in fact it was actually very friendly. And it's an interesting dynamic where if you type your message out, again, plain black text on a plain white screen, and you send it, you're giving away all control over how your message is read and experienced. And by that I mean, did the recipient of your email just lose his or her job? Or did the recipient of your email just find out that their son or daughter was named valedictorian of their graduating class, right? 2 radically different experiences that if they happen to within, 5 minutes or even 5 hours of opening your email, it's going to cast something onto the way that they read your message. So you're giving away all control over kind of the emotion and the tone and intention and motivation. Whereas if you record a message and you're sincere about it, the value, the opportunity, the explanation, the apology, the congratulations, whatever it is, you're controlling how the other person experiences that, because your emotions come through in that video, and in fact, they're transferred onto the viewer. There's something in our brains, our mental processing called mirror neurons, where we kind of mirror one another. That's one of the reasons smiles are contagious. It's one of the reasons bad moods are contagious. And so when you send a video and you're excited for someone, or you're concerned about someone, or you're grateful for someone, they cannot misunderstand that. And in fact, they're going to experience that with you. And that's part of the power of sending a much more human piece of communication than faceless text.
Wow. I've been taking notes. So giving over control, tone, emotion, motivation. I mean, I think when I talk to people about doing videos, like people are doing their phones and they're uploading to Instagram right now a lot. And mentally they're like, yeah, I get it. But then when I went to deploy it, so I want to ask you the second question, the roadblocks to using. So when I went to deploy it with my team, it was, I'm just being a little transparent. They were like, okay, what do I say? How do I say it? And they were telling me they were doing 6 and 7, 8 takes. And so I want to hear what you have to say about that, getting over that roadblock. Cause I was like, here we go. And it kind of froze everybody. I don't know if that's common. Maybe it's just us.
No, it's not just you. In fact, again, I was hinting at it in the beginning of my previous response, and it's that this is a new habit. It's a new skill in a lot of cases, right? So we are so accustomed to, going here, going there, taking meetings, client meetings with our peers, meetings with strategic partners, and we don't think twice about any of it. We sit down at the coffee shop, or we sit down across the desk, or we sit down across the conference room table, and we just talk to people. And yet somehow when we're doing it by looking into the lens on our webcam or maybe on our smartphone, we just freeze. And so that is not an atypical experience. It's in fact the most common. It's because we're not used to seeing and hearing ourselves, right? And so, we maybe, each of us, like an average person, might look in the mirror 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day, right? As you're brushing your teeth, or you're, washing your hands, or whatever you're doing. And so it's not common to hear our voices. I'll never forget, and I tell the story in the book, the first time I heard my voice on an audio cassette recording, and I was like, who's that? So there's that who's that, no matter how that manifests for you, it's like, do I really look that way? Do I really sound that way? And there's something going on there. One of our deepest human fears is judgment and rejection. We don't like to be judged because we deeply, deeply fear rejection. We are ancient creatures, like, not relative to some other species on Earth, but we're millennia into this human experience. And so if you think about just a millennia ago, if you got rejected, if you got kicked out of the tribe, you would die in the desert, or on the mountainside, or in the forest, or wherever you and your tribe were, And so that's still deeply part of our experience. We don't want to be judged and rejected. And then to further compound that issue, we are our own harshest critic.
Yep.
So while we're sitting there watching the second recording of this video message, all in our own heads about an or an or a misstatement or a pause, all these things that we would do if we were just sitting across the table again over coffee or lunch and not think twice about it, are all of a sudden flawed. So all I would say here is, with regard to getting out of your own head, practice is the best way forward. You just have to record it and send it. And, I can't rationalize or reason people out of their feelings, but I would encourage you to think about the fact that your imperfection is your perfection in this scenario. This idea that you are comfortable enough in your own skin, you're willing to be honest and authentic. I know these words sound kind of soft, but if it's just you sitting at your desk as you are right now, and you're sending a video, you're not putting on any airs, you're not dressing this thing up. It's just, you just are showing up as you are, honest, authentic, real, and there's a vulnerability in that. Vulnerability is how we feel in times of uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. So as we're feeling this vulnerability and our ability to work through it, the other person recognizes that. They don't consciously say, gosh, that must have been really hard for him to sit at his desk and record that video. But the fact that you're just showing up in such a simple and honest and direct way and looking them in the eye through the camera lens and speaking to their problem or their opportunity or their question or their concern or whatever you're doing, it really, really connects with people, and it's very refreshing, frankly. And so if you can get 3, 4, 5, 8 of these out the door, you just start by saying thank you to somebody, or I've been thinking about you, or I saw the good news on Facebook or LinkedIn, or I saw the bad news on Facebook or LinkedIn. I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. Like, if you just reach out with a really simple, lightweight touch to people you already know and people who already like you, so that fear of rejection comes down a little bit, you're going to get, let's just say you send 5 of those. You're going to get at least 2 replies that let you know that this is, in fact, a different and better way to communicate in these channels. It's going to validate your effort. It's going to create this kind of positive momentum going forward. So I would guess that, as your team members got a couple of them out the door, they're like, oh, okay, this isn't as awkward as last time. And what I'll say is, and then I'll give it back to you, your 5th video is going to be a lot more comfortable and natural than your 2nd video. And your 10th video is going to be better than your 5th, and your 100th is going to be better than your 20th, and so on and so on and so on. And just a point of reference, we've got about 1,000 people in our customer base who've sent 1,000 or more videos. And there are 2 things we can learn from this. One, you don't get to 1,000 videos if the 999 before it were not a better thing to do. Right? You don't go like, gosh, those 999 videos I said before weren't very much
terrible.
Better, but I'll give it a 1,000th try, right? So it is definitely a better way to work. And then you also don't do it if it's not quick and easy. And so I know you have personally already experienced some of the time savings, and some of your team members have too. And so I just encourage people, again, to get a little bit of practice, get a little bit of comfort, look for those positive replies and responses. Start in a lower threat situation, and your script is just basically like a voicemail. You know who you're reaching out to, you know why you're reaching out, and you know what you need to communicate. If there is a call to action, something you want them to do, you know what that is too. And so when you get the beep on a voicemail, you don't like blank and freak out and like look around for
That's
shit.
right.
You just talk to people. This is the same thing. So start with something easy like thank you, congratulations, good job, I've been thinking about you, I'm sorry to hear about, or some of these other just things that we would do normally.
This is such gold, Ethan. So I have a feeling, and I think I read in your book, you have some psychology in your background, because what you were talking about earlier about vulnerability, being honest, transparent. I think sometimes if people understand a little bit about what's going on, they won't be so hesitant. I'll give you a quick story. So before I launched BombBomb for all the employees, I was telling people, use your phone and send video. Because I was trying to make them kind of prove to me, like, are you going to actually do a video? And that didn't work, because it didn't work. The technology that you guys have makes it easier, number one. And the other thing they were doing, they were getting their phone and they'd hit record, and then it'd be this big file, and then they have to send it to someone. It wouldn't go through. Then they try to email it. Then they were saving on it was like, oh, stop. The technology, it's not just sending videos. The technology that you guys use has made the process a lot simpler. And so what I told them is every day, at the end of the day, I want you to send out a 1-minute recap video to just the team. And it's fascinating. I said, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you say hi. I'm done. Just to get into the rhythm. And you're exactly right. We've been doing that now about 5-6 days, 7 days maybe, and they're getting better. They're getting more comfortable. They're having a sense of humor now, where the first couple were like, hey, everybody. Okay. So, and now they're like, having a theme, like it's Fridays or something. So that's really good advice.
I love that. I'm going to share that with some other folks that are maybe like in the earlier stages of where you are at the beginning. You started in an advantaged position, I'll say, against some of the other teams that I see, in that you were bought in, right? And in some cases, like there's the practitioner, someone on the front lines tries it out, and then they try to get everyone on board, but the buy-in isn't all there. And so I love this habit of sending a recap video at the end of the day, just as a way to get people comfortable. And especially now, it was very easy for us. We're about 150 people. We're all based in Colorado Springs, Colorado. We have a handful of folks up in Denver, and then a few employees that are kind of in other cities around the country. But it was pretty easy for us to go remote, but we lost so many cultural elements. And so we're doing things like you're describing. We're coming up with themes in the water cooler in our Slack community. And, so we're making up things like this. And so there are a number of benefits besides just getting comfortable sending videos, which is a huge benefit. We did, essentially, you remember the old show on MTV? I don't know if it exists anymore. But Cribs,
Yes.
like you go into like things.
That was a great show.
So we did like a BombBomb Cribs edition where people were just showing what their home office setup looked like. And so, you can just go through water cooler, just like boom, 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 boom. You see like 25 or 30 or 40 employees like homes and things. And so it's like, it just makes the world smaller and keeps us connected, especially when we're physically distant.
Yep. Yeah. So, because I was struggling, and then I let everyone on the team get to their own pace, but we had a few people that jumped in right away, and some people that were like, I'm like, just do it. So that's what we did. All right. I'm going to transition a little bit to the different ways that you can use the system. So I know that maybe you can explain to people, you can send it via text message, email, you can record your screen, which is phenomenal. You can do social. Maybe give a quick update on the different ways that you can use video.
Sure. So you already alluded to the fact that we make the process easier. So we have a bunch of our own in-house technology. We're encoding the video while you're recording it so that it's ready to send as soon as you're done. We host the video securely for you in the cloud, and so you're not sending a video file to someone. It's the reason why recording it on your phone and trying to send it fails is that you're actually sending this 40 meg file or 100 meg file or whatever as an attachment, which just doesn't work. So we take that out of the way. When we send your video for you, or when you click send, we take the first 3 seconds of your video and turn it into a little loop. It's an animated GIF or a little animated preview, and it shows the play duration. So it says play 37-second video, or play 52-second video, or play 2-minute video. And we found that when we did this combination of the movement with the duration of the video, the way we displayed it, it produced a 49% lift in video play rate. And so that's just some of the technical stuff that we do specific to make it easy and effective for you in a way that you couldn't do yourself. A lot of people are like, can I just do this myself? Like, yeah, kind of you can, but it's slow, it's cumbersome, it's clunky, and you would never do it 1,000 times. So specific to your question, we have our own web application. You can log into it, bombbomb.com. And when you go in, we have like a lightweight quick sender that, you can change your little template and quickly record videos and type in, 2-3 lines to go with it. We have a nice email maker where you can like drag and drop pictures and text boxes and clickable buttons and easily change what they say and how big they are and what colors they are and all these other things. And then you can send those to one person or to a list of people or to everyone in all of your lists. And, other things in there like lead capture forms, drip automation sequences. And so it's like a mini email platform and very, very lightweight marketing automation platform, but all designed around video from day one.
Now, let me say something real quick, Ethan. Your email platform, I was blown away because I've had a lot of experience with CRMs and marketing platforms. When I went onto your website and I saw that I could create an email and import names through CRM Excel, and then it sent it out, that's pretty amazing. Your technology is not just capturing the video. So it's a significant piece of the puzzle that I'm using now. So that's really well done. Really well done.
Happy to hear it. Yeah. Depending on the nature of your business and how mature it is, let's say, we suffice as the full email and marketing platform for the entire organization. And in fact, as you said, I was a very early employee with the company. I've been there over 8.5 years full time now. And I was the only marketing guy for a few years there. And I used BombBomb for almost all of our marketing, like our onboarding sequences, our special offers, our newsletters, etc., lead capture forms and all kinds of stuff. And so that's rich. But then we have mobile apps for iPhone and Android. We have a Google Chrome extension that just sits up in the top of your browser. You can screen record from there. You can record a video from there. You can pull videos from your library there. And then you can take them and put them anywhere that you want. You can take the link and put it anywhere that you want. I use it a lot in Slack or LinkedIn messaging or Facebook messaging. Facebook messaging does have a video recorder in it, but it's flawed in a variety of ways. It's just like, it's like a 10th order feature of theirs, like check that box, right? So So I find it easier to record the videos from Chrome and then just drop the link in there. You can also take the HTML if you are using another CRM. We have some folks that can take the videos out of the Chrome extension and throw them into emails in their CRM and have like the nice automated preview and these other features that we give you. In addition, though, that Chrome extension turns on a rich feature set inside a Gmail inbox. So if you're using Gmail, like BombBomb.com is a Google Apps domain. We use Google Apps. And so when I check my email, I check it in Gmail. And so we're now working directly inside every compose or reply window inside Gmail with video recording, with tracking, I forgot to mention that, by the way. We'll tell you who's opening your emails, who's watching your videos, when they're doing it, how many times they're doing it, how long people are watching your videos on average, and a variety of other things as well. I won't go back to the platform. So we work directly in the Gmail inbox. That completely changed everything for me. It changed me from sending, 15 or 20 videos a month to sometimes 15 or 20 videos a day, depending on kind of how my day shapes up and what I'm doing. Like if I'm in my inbox a bit, I could get there quickly and easily in a day without even thinking about it, right? I'm not saying, who are 10 people I would send videos to? It's right there in my email. Someone asks me a question. Do I want to type out a full paragraph response and link to 2 support articles, or do I just want to talk to them? And again, so much of this, I don't care what business you're in as you listen to this, so much of our success is in how we make other people feel. And so when you can look someone in the eye through the camera lens, smile at them, address their question, or again, speak about an opportunity, emote, right, like in a positive way, and know that is a contagious emotion, there's no faking the time and attention that you're giving someone when it says play 52-second video and you're answering the question that they asked you, right? It is just, it's a gift that, like, intellectually, no one knows how long it took you to write that email, right? If you type it all out. A handwritten note would be a nice parallel, right? That's another gesture that says, you took the time to write this specifically for me and kind of put your personality on the page. A simple video has the same qualities and benefits. So anyway, web application, mobile application, we work in Gmail through a Google Chrome extension. Chrome extension has its own benefits. We work in some instances of Outlook. Outlook is a much more complicated environment, so there's some limitations there. And we have a number of direct CRM and platform integrations. If you go to, I think it's bombbomb.com/integrations. Salesforce, of course, is a massive one. Zendesk is the number one customer support and customer service and customer success platform, and just dozens of direct integrations. And those vary in what they do. In some cases, our video recorder is inside your CRM now. So if you're one of those customers, you may never log in at bombbomb.com. You may never download the mobile app. We're just in your CRM all day, every day, and that's how you use us. In other cases, it's about list syncing. So your lists, you manage them in your CRM, but they can stay updated inside your BombBomb account. So you can send out video emails to 528 people at a time, and then see who opened it, segment a list of people who didn't, and follow back up with those people, and cool things like that.
Yeah, so I'm real impressed because I've seen a lot of technology. We've been in business 18 years, so we've seen a lot. We use Salesforce and Google Apps, but what was impressive is that I started small. I started with the mobile app on my phone last year, playing around with it. Then I did the desktop, and then I played around with it, and then it's like the more I learned, the more I integrated. So what was nice is I could take it at my own pace, and when I rolled it to our team, I said, look, just one step at a time. Don't worry about all the stuff. I'll be sending out stuff. And then we brought it into Salesforce, and I did it today. You click on it, you do it right in there, and you hit send. So that's cool. Everyone knows what's going on. I want to tell you a quick testimonial. I sent you this video, BombBomb, today. So I tell people, like, we use it for sales. We use it for marketing and customer service. I had a guy that wanted a phone interview with me about catching up on stuff. And this is not a good time. So I said, let me send him a video and tell him who we are and give him an update. So I did that. I sent him about a 4 or 5 minute video, and his response was, this was tremendously helpful. And I'm getting that response a lot. Like, oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. And that tells me we're onto something. You guys are well ahead of the trend. So well done with how you've incorporated all this technology.
Good. I love your advice, by the way, of starting small and moving forward. I think so many people, if they listen to this, maybe checks 3 or 4 boxes of interest for them, and they maybe try to go out and do it all, and then, it just doesn't work out. So you do need to walk into it. And I think that testimonial you just mentioned is, it's a testament to this idea that people want to be seen and appreciated. And there's no faking that you took the time and energy to organize your thoughts and reach out to them in what feels very clearly more personal and more human. And so even if you put twice the same amount of time into a typed out response, they can't see that, they can't feel it, they don't recognize it. And again, I mean, you're in a competitive environment.
Mm-hmm.
How you make people feel is the reason they stick with you. How you make people feel is the reason that they refer you. How you make people feel is why, when you send out an email, maybe asking to click here and go leave an online review in support of me and my team and the experience you have with us, that they will do it.
Yeah.
And so there's just something really special about it. And I think it's this return to, and again, I think this COVID situation heightens it. We need human connection more than ever. And I would say, interestingly, I don't generally like to go dark, but, let's just set COVID to the side. We were at a real thirst or hunger for human connection prior to being physically distanced from one another. Right. In that, we all have internet connectivity. We all have our phones with us basically everywhere we are all the time. We have hundreds of people in there. We have our social networks on our phones. We can access people all the time. And yet, somehow, at least in the United States, depression rates are higher, suicide rates, reports of discouragement and disconnection, a lack of interest in our own work. 80-some% of adults are not motivated by the work that they do, which is just it's very sad in and of itself. But I think a lot of that is the human connection problem too. So if you manage a team of people, if you're not using a video to reach out and say thank you, good job, hey, I know you're working with this family for some time and I know it was complicated, but I saw that, I saw in the report that it just came through, well done. Or, gosh, Jennifer told me about your grandmother. Really sorry to hear about that. I want to let you know I'm thinking about you and your family at this time. If you need anything, just reach out. Like that in our professional lives, and that with our employees, that with our customers, that with our potential customers, that with our potential employees, that with our family member and friends. It's just on and on and on. And so it is not a substitute for true human connection, but we're so lacking it. And you can make so many more touches by sitting at your desk, record, stop, send, record, stop, send. Again, if you just took 10 minutes in the morning and reached out to 5 or 7 people in that time, your life will look a lot different 3 months into that habit. I promise.
Yeah, no, I tell you, in the interest of time, I could talk for 2 hours with you, all the stuff. This is so important. What I would say to people is just, if you're not ready for the corporate, for your whole company, get it for yourself. If you're the CEO or president, I'm telling people, get it for yourself, use it. We actually can even give them a link, a 14-day trial link that you guys give us. They can use it for 14 days free. That's what I did. I'm like, okay, I actually used it. Use it. Then you see it, and then you deploy it to your team. Any last comments on how people can use the impact of video, maybe through the rest of this year? Anything that you guys are thinking about coming in the future that you're thinking or working on? Where is this heading? Any last comments would be great.
I think what I'll do is I'll just walk it all the way back down, and I'll double down on your advice earlier, which is, you may have had your mind running. If you've listened this long, your mind is running with some ideas and opportunities. You have opportunities across the entire customer life cycle, from first touch to, repeat, renewal, expanded referrals, online reviews, etc. Same thing with employees. And so you have all of these opportunities. So just pick 1 or 2. And then, as you did, find the one place that you would ideally record and send videos. I tend to work from a desk all the time, so I'm primarily using it in my Gmail inbox. I'm not really on the go. I don't really have a lot of mobile uses, right? So for me, Gmail is the place. But for you, it might be the quick sender by logging in at BombBomb.com. It might be the iPhone or the Android app. So pick 1 or 2 ways to use it. Find your preferred recording environment and just do that. Just do that. Whenever the opportunity comes up, there are two ways to think about it. One is triggered, like whenever this happens, I'm going to send a video. Anytime a customer asks me a question and it's going to take me more than 3 sentences to answer it, I'm going to send a video. Boom, that's a trigger. Every time that happens, I'm going to send a video, right? Or the other one, as I already referred to a couple times, is time blocking. I'm going to take 10 minutes every morning between 7:30 and 7:40 a.m., and I'm just going to say thank you to as many people as I can think of until the 10 minutes is up.
Yep.
I'm going to do that 3 days a week. So find your preferred recording environment, pick one use case, and just do that, and then you'll naturally start expanding your usage as appropriate.
Well, you said something I want to just say again. So when I was looking at this for our company, I was thinking of just the salespeople. Like I'm an owner of the company, but I'm primary sales and marketing. And I portioned out my sales team, my operations team's over here. And my senior partner one day said, why are we leaving out the operations and customer service? I said, well, because this is a sales thing. And she's like, what about when a customer has the same question over and over and over? Couldn't we just video or logging into the website? Hey, I need to check my claim or whatever it is. I'm like, oh, that's not just sales. It's not just marketing. It could be claims, customer service. So that's really important. That's a mistake I made. I almost got it for 2 or 3 people. And talking to Jonathan, he's like, don't you think that could, and he opened my mind to this is not just a sales tool. This is a company communication tool. And that was really valuable for me, which is why we deployed it. And that helped me make that call. So
exactly right.
Ethan, thank you so much. So real quick, before we end, we're going to be posting this video on YouTube. I'll send you a copy. It'll be on our iTunes podcast. I really appreciate you coming on. We're a big supporter of you guys. Everyone I talk to, we encourage them to use it. And we're also a resource. Right now, we're giving a lot to our clients because a lot of companies have hunkered down. So it's like, how can I help you do this? How can I help you with these things? So it's good to be able to give people stuff. Not sell them anything, not try to take anything. Just say, hey, if you need some support, you can do this. And you guys are easy to recommend. So thank you for all that you do. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Sure. Thank you so much for the invite. Happy to do it again. Thank you for sharing the philosophy and the practice and for being someone that's open and encouraging of others to do it. This is about clearer communication and human connection. I know that our lives and businesses are better when we make this a habit.
Yeah, you guys are doing good work. Thank you so much, Ethan. You have a great day. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.